Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is Many a True Nerd, and welcome back to Stellaris, and in particular, oh my goodness, yes, the beautiful, beautiful power here floating above Duckburg, looking upon the brightest quack right over there. Oh, we have First Murder, and today we're going to war, our first little war, and I've gone away since the last part. I've gone away, I've kind of had a cup of tea, I've had a think. And I think this is going to be a good war, because unlike last time, I now roughly have an idea what it is I want to do. I actually have proper war aims. But first, some research. My border range has just been expanded. And that's actually very, very important. Hang on. Zoom out here. Let's see what we've got going on. So that should have pushed the borders out a little bit, right? So the first thing we've got to do is we've got a bit of diplomacy to do, which is we've now got, on the southern tip of our empire, we're now kind of pushing right against two different empires. We've got ourselves the Tile Holy Union and the Kithri Foundation. Now we've got to figure out if we're going to be like pushing, if we're going to be like having a war over here, potentially expanding into this sort of space in the near future, and also we're really pushing against both these guys, we've got to pick one of these guys who we're going to try and court, and ideally turn against the other. We've got to have at least one friend here. So, out of the Kithris or the Tiles, I strongly suspect we'll end up being friends with the Kithri. Let's have a little look, see what's going on out in the world, for context, to see like what people think of us. Interestingly, both of them seem fairly positive about us. This is very, very interesting. I wasn't actually expecting that. So, the Kithris, they're enlightened pacifists. The Kithris are peaceful. That could be very, very useful. We've got mutual threats. Why have they got mutual threats? They're rivals with the Twix Ildar. We're going to try and be friends with the Kithri Foundation. These lovely little, I think they're mushrooms or something. Can I just go into them? Hang on. Yeah, they're fanatical pacifist, which would logically mean they are unlikely to want to go to war with me. So I'm going to establish an embassy with them and try and court them. Now, as far as I can tell, they've got no issues against the Tile Holy Empire, but if it comes to it, I've got more in common with these mushrooms than the flipping Tile Holy Empire. Meanwhile, both of them seem more than a little bit nervous of these guys down here. That's the thing. They seem to be, yeah, really nervous about these guys. Fine. I'm going to establish an embassy with the Kithris. There we are. So improving the relations. Confirm. Beautiful. So now we've got ourselves an embassy over there. So we'll hopefully like slowly work with these guys. And actually this will be good. Because like the thing is, if I want, this is a really good direction to expand into. That's kind of why I want to do this war. This is the right direction for me to be expanding out into. Because we've got our friends up here, and these guys we've got really good relationships with. I want to make friends with these guys down here. We've got a whole bunch of space here that's not really doing anything right now. And then we've got these guys who don't like us. We've got a mutual threat here, but I feel like this alliance is going to hold against them. So for the moment at least, we're fine. Now, there was that research as well. I need some new research here for these guys. So, yes, 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 yes. Arctic world. That is just the thing. That's, oh, but Tundra. Oh, why are you making me choose? Okay. Arctic or Tundra? I just need to go and check it because I know I've got Arctic and Tundra worlds. I'm not actually sure how you check, by the way. Like, there doesn't seem to be, like, an easy way of, like, just having it highlighted on the thing, like, what uncolonized planets exist in the system. Let me just check the interface, actually, see if I can find that. No, I can't see a way to make it, like, set when you kind of hover, showing you what's actually going on in a given section. Actually, why have we not got that, by the way? I thought we... Oh, okay, fine. Apparently we're not even, like, we're still not even flipping mining to capacity yet. We've got flipping spare stuff all over the shop. We're not bothering to mine. Right, I'm just going to quickly go around the Empire and check whether Arctic or Tundra works more to our advantage. We'll get to that in a second, but first we've got something a little bit embarrassing and something I'm assuming people have been shouting at me in the comments, but unfortunately, I recorded all of this in a big block, so apologies if I missed that. Sirius, apparently, Sirius 3 is and always has been a massive oceanic world that's just there. And even, like, I've had a little research post just round the outside this whole time, but somehow I just missed that this here was a flipping habitable world. So we've actually got an ocean world in Sirius. Okay, that's interesting. You know what that means we need to do right the hell now? That means right the hell now, get over to the spaceport. Yeah, as soon as we're done upgrading all of these, we need to God. What have I done? Let's just focus for a second here on actually getting some new colonies established. Because apparently we've got, like, all the colonies that we could establish right now. So I think the war's being maybe not called off, but postponed in favour of, you know, colonization efforts. Right, let's get that in production for a moment. Well, we've got one clear option, and unfortunately it's not, like, the best placed one, to be honest. We've got Alpha Centauri 2 over here, which is Arctic. I'm going to go for it because it's absolutely massive and there's no kind of like great alternative option. It's like 23. 23 is spectacular. It's already habitability 60%. We've got a happy race because of pacifist. It should be fine. There's another option down here, which is kind of tempting in some ways, which is it this world? Yeah. There's a very tiny Arctic world down here, but it really is so tiny that like you're not really able to build much on it. In theory, it would let me, like, push out a bit further, I guess, and, like, you know, further push my claim around here, but I feel like I'm pushing into other empires. I'm not going to make much progress doing that. So it's kind of just not really worth it, to be honest. So yes, that's what we're going to do now. We're going to start researching Arctic. And it's going to be done in just 2 years because of how fast we research things. That is beautiful. Just got our construction ships on the move here. Make sure they're just kind of continuing to build more research stations and mines. We're finding some good systems over here, by the way. Decent ones that we're scanning here. Yeah, some good sociology research. Over here in Taramba, no habitable worlds, but some decent research and energy. But even though I would love to just expand out into this region, to be honest, we just keep failing to find anything worth expanding into over here. There's just, like, not a single habitable world. Not even, like, a planet that's desperately worth moving into. Like, there are some okay ones over here, but I don't think it's worth, like, going and staking a claim for any of this stuff. Arguably, maybe Pleione, because, like, yeah, 6 minerals is pretty darn good. This area's got some good stuff. Yeah, you could argue, like, I guess there's some good mining territories over here. But until there's actually, like, a habitable world somewhere, I just don't think it's worth it. I will say one thing I have just realised, which is what we've got around here is over in Thuban 4, I believe, which is not a terrible area to own full stop. We do have a potential colony site. We have a continental world over here. Rather than being the war episode, this could be the great colonization episode, which would potentially be, you know, much more lovely and friendly. It's not bad. 17 spaces in it. That's not too bad in terms of, yeah, the number of available spaces. So that's actually pretty darn good. And the question is, should we do this? We've got a lot of places, actually, all of a sudden we could theoretically expand to. Right. Before we make a choice on that, let's also have a look-see at our enemies here. Do we have much information about their planet? No, not much, to be honest. There is one thing, interestingly, that we can figure out about these guys, which is, if we just kind of go into communication, we can just kind of peer out the window behind them and make a couple of educated guesses for what we're seeing. And what I believe I'm seeing there is a continental world. That's continental, isn't it? Because there's land, but there's also some water. It's definitely not arid, it's not desert, it's not tundra, it's not Arctic. I don't think it could be tropical. That's either tropical or continental, but I feel like that's continental because there's mountains in the background. So on that basis, these guys' world, these bastards who I'm thinking about going to war with, these guys have some worlds we could just move straight in and take over, which is quite interesting. Oh, hang on a minute. Things may have just ever so slightly changed, actually. Technology, guys, would you mind actually changing the research option just a second? We're not doing the Arctic world anymore. No. I think we've just changed that because what we've got is I've just found something fantastic and new, which is one, we've got Thuban 4 over here we can already do, which is fantastic. Okay, so that's our expansion over in this direction. I've just found something over here. This world, this one's kind of crap actually. We could already just move into that one, but it's tiny, it's only 12. However, Hadoofis the Third, this has 24 squares and is tundra. Alright, this could be very, very good indeed. That's a good word. Alright, those are our expansion options. We've got a much easier expansion option up in Sirius, but that doesn't really help our claim anywhere, so I want to be expanding out in both directions instead. Alright, so we've got ourselves our new option there. Actually, it's going to be all about the tundra. Go for the tundra world, please. Thank you. Now, we're going to run into some problems in a moment because we are in the process. In fact, let me just actually go play so we can actually start working on this. We've got the problem that the colony ship's going to be ready soon. As soon as the colony is ready to go, we're going to pretty much immediately run into a small issue. And the issue is we're going to have zero power whatsoever. We're going to have a lot of issues with power. So, let's go over to our existing colony world. Alpha Centauri. No, New Duckburg. Alpha Centauri 1 is not our existing colony. This crappy colony. However, down on the surface, what can we do here? Conveniently, at just this moment, I've got some unemployed people just sitting here on my new world. Perfect. Congratulations, guys. You are going to be building on an ocean trench. We are going to build a power plant. Ooh, hang on. A power hub also produces 3, but gives energy credits plus 10%. Oh, for the whole planet. Oh, okay, so it's more expensive, but it's way better. Okay, so I'm glad I researched that in that case. Perfect. Right, 1 power hub. That was more expensive to build, but that will totally be worth it, because that's going to increase the output of all these other places, which is fine. And speaking of which, we're just going to build a basic power plant over here in that case, because that's also an area that's doing nothing but producing power. So at this point, we're going to just be producing a ton of power off New Duckburg. That is New Duckburg's job. The science ships, meanwhile, continue their long journey trying to find literally anything worth bloody doing. But I tell you what, yeah, if we can just kind of lock down this area and turn it into a mining area, there may not be anything spectacular here, but we found 2 big, good worlds, and big worlds where you've got like a lot of expansion capability. A good planet, like covered in good research options, that is worth a lot. And we just started losing energy credits, even though we haven't actually set up a new... Oh, is it because a colony ship actually eats energy very, very fast? Hang on, let me just check on this here. Yeah, a colony ship eats 6 immediately, so colony ships are bloody expensive. Alright, fine. Well, we've got a colony ship now, and that means we know what we're doing. We're heading over to Thuban. So Thuban 4 over here, 17 spaces. Oh, Thuban 3 we can't even do if we wanted to. Fine. So Thuban 4... You can see here, not even that bad. There's loads of resources going on this planet. This is going very, very nicely indeed. Not even much to clear out. Part of what is to be cleared out is toxic kelp, and we already know how to take care of that. So, I'd say we are going to go and colonize this world right now. Thuban 4. Let's go. And I'd say it's a pretty clear guess where we're going to put this. We're going to land right here, so that's going to give benefits to all these squares that already have good stuff on them. This here is going to be an excellent world. Colony ship, head on your way. And the colony ship starts moving out on its glorious, glorious journey. Now, I probably, until I've got the energy situation under control, should not build another colony ship. Not just yet, anyway. Because if we do go and build another colony ship, yeah, we're going to have such a massive energy deficit, it's actually going to start causing problems. At least until New Duckburg's finished its new energy initiatives, we shouldn't build any more. I'm also going to send one of my constructor ships over here as well. One of my constructor ships can just kind of head on their way over to Thuban. There'll definitely be stuff to build once we get out there. Now, this is going to, of course, further lead us into border conflict against the Lolahendrons, but I don't really mind. I kind of want them to stop expanding, and they can't expand much more in this direction. If I block them off here, they simply can't expand to surround us. And meanwhile, one of my science vessels has found a box that smells funny. Interesting. This does not strike me as desperately urgent, to be honest. Let's just leave that for the moment because, yeah, I really want my my sociology boys to keep doing what they're doing. Oh, this is interesting. The Buhavila, our allies, have declared the centralized... Who are you guys? The centralized... Oh, you guys! Oh, perfect! That's the guys we're thinking of going to war with. Have we declared them our rivals yet? Because if not, we should do. Yep, they're now our rivals. Perfect. That's worth a little bit of extra influence a month to us. Not much, because we're pacifists, so we don't get as much benefit from doing that sort of thing. But, you know, not too bad. And there's our brand new colony. Our brand new colony there. Obviously, the influence of that will grow over time. Like, as the colony grows, so too will the influence. And we've also made another interesting discovery, which is way over here, in the very far-off area of Gurum. We actually have, interestingly, if we go over to Gurum 2, a very, very massive tundra world, which is what we are currently researching. Now, that over there could be of great, great interest to us. Okay, good. Our energy situation has stabilised because our lads over on Alpha Centauri have finished, presumably building all of their work. Yeah, look at this. these guys are suddenly producing a ton of good stuff. And a power plant can even be upgraded for 60 into a better power plant. Yep, totally. Start on the upgrade for that. Let's get our power plants as good as possible here. Now, we're also floating quite a lot of minerals at the moment, and I've kind of got a plan for that, which is we researched something very, very good not very long ago over in Duckburg. We've got these people just chilling out here. We can build on this world a research institute. This, ooh, requires 10 energy. Bloody hell, lads. It produces 5 of everything. Ooh, that's tempting, but expensive. If I do that, I'm going to basically give myself a research. Okay, don't do that for now. I can't afford it for now. I've got to get my energy situation under control. But as soon as I can spare 10 energy per month, I can do a massive research initiative. Oh, and there we are. You see, our empire has already started expanding over here. What did we call this place, by the way? Oh, we've got some engineering researches to do as well. Hang on. Engineering research. So, engineering facility. No, passing that for now. Defense platform. Not bad, but I'm not sure we necessarily need it. Improved thrusters. Obviously very, very useful. And geothermal fracking. Again, ooh. An improved mining network would be good, because then I could increase the amount of... But I'm not really worried about minerals at the moment. I'm more worried about power. If you could get me more power, that'd be perfect, but I don't feel like you can. Plasma thrusters. They give me... That's better evasion. Yeah, let's get them going. Let's get a good fleet going on here. We are definitely going to be going to war not too distant future. Also, apparently, you guys are done. Alright, fine. Warp Drive 3. Ooh. Databank uplinks. That's for... That's presumably for scanning, isn't it? Is that for scanning? I don't know. It doesn't really say. But it unlocks assist research. Oh, our science ship can assist with research on a colony. No, that's fine. Plasma accelerator. Even better guns. Alright, let's consider that there. A small plasma accelerator. 10 power usage. 2.45 plus 100% armor penetration. What can we do right now? 2.07 plus 100% armor penetration. Pretty good. Okay, that's a decent step up. Fine. Yep, lads, work on that. You can make that happen in, yeah, just a few years. You are doing this so damn fast. 31 progress a month. I'm loving playing as the scientific ducks. Okay, our new colony's just getting set up at the moment. Nothing happening down there right now. Nothing we can do. Now, some very important changes to make to our ship designs here. Hang on, not to you. The basic corvette here. Now, I believe we have ourselves, yes, the railgun. Right now we have small coil gun, which is on small, so that can do 4 to 17. Railgun can do 5 to 19. Totally slot one of them in. And that leaves us with a very slight power issue. Now I've got a potential solution to that, which is right now I'm on -7, but I've got 2 one-off shields here. But I've unlocked these much better shields that actually require relatively little power. So I can get my shields up from 50 up to 75 by putting in an actual shield thing there and just shoving in some more power. That also gives me, yeah, just a little bit more power to work with, which is pretty damn powerful. I've also decided to switch over my computer systems to the defensive protocol because it seems to sync well with the fact that, 1, I've actually got some evasive bonuses from other bits and pieces, and 2, if I'm going to be starting in an extended war soon, then potentially having my fleet having more kind of staying power and being able to evade shots strikes me as potentially more useful. Plus it syncs nicely with having more shielding. And I've done the same basic thing here with my larger ships, which is, yeah, I've put in the class 3 shields. So now I've got my shields up to 225, and I've switched them over to the evasive protocols, as well as moving them up to the class 3 railgun. Everyone's also moved over to Warp Drive 2. I can't remember if I'd already done that, but if I hadn't, that I have done now. And with those new upgrades ready, let's get a few more ships added to the fleet, ready for the war. The war that I keep mentioning, but doesn't actually seem any closer to happening. Now, I do, however, have one thing that's actually going to become an issue faster than I anticipated, which is, as soon as that colony's done, we're going to be up to 4 planets. Now, the game very clearly says here, I'm only allowed to directly control 5, which is limited by bureaucratic systems, together with some technology, some buildings, and some government forms. Now the question is, can I do something to increase that number? Because if I'm going to potentially build a colony over here, And if I want to have a colony like this direction ultimately, we're going to need more than 5 sooner or later. And by the way, that's just ticked up to 4. And that does indeed mean, of course, that colony is now ready, which is good, because now it's no longer absorbing a huge amount of energy, and I've actually got an energy surplus going on here. What's in this system, by the way? Oh, there was something bad in this system and we didn't know what it was. That's interesting. Well, we might want the fleet to go in and clear that out so we can actually scan what the hell's going on in here, because right now we just don't know. As this colony grows, I would expect the boundary to grow a little bit yet, by the way, just because, yeah, we've actually taken like multiple different upgrades for the boundaries to be relatively wide, so I would expect ultimately we should be able to eat both Lithorius over here, which is good because that's got loads of engineering research in it, and Parsax, which has some decent energy down it too. Maybe it's time for one last outing for the fleet, given we've got some stuff to clear out of one of our own territories here. Alright, first murder, head over to here. I don't know what we're taking on, but I'm sure you can handle it. So they'll be there pretty darn soon at this point. We found an anomaly. Keep on researching that, lads. By the way, that little symbol there is, there is a military station in here, the Pirax. The Pirax, basically, as far as I can tell, just like basic lads. Like, these are just like, you know, they've got like a really basic space station, but it's got like, you know, 100 hull points and basically 0 military power. It's not supposed to fight. These guys are just basic little lads that live within our space. I mean, if we need to, eventually we'll destroy them, but I feel like they're not really that tough and we don't need to worry about them. Yeah, they're early space age. Like, we'll have a chat to them later. I feel like these guys can just be absorbed as vassals relatively quickly. And the Kithries want to be non-aggressive. Totally up for that. Perfect. So this here's working. We're going to be friends with the Kithries, and potentially we might ultimately need to, go to war against the Tile Holies, but never mind. Now, we found some fossils on an asteroid. That's cool. And that just gets us a bunch of research. Fine. Now, at this point, I probably want to actually cut off mining efforts as far as possible. There's not much point me doing kind of much more mining until I've got more energy set up, because, yeah, I really need more energy going on, especially as I only have a very small little kind of like... oh, here comes first murder, by the way. I only have a very small energy surplus, and I want to do more colonization. So what have we got over here? This is a void cloud with not much military strength. Lads... Actually, let's change your thing, by the way. You're right now a passive fleet stance. Can we change that, by the way? Fleet stance is aggressive. Fleet stance is evasive. No, don't evade. Don't evade. Fleet stance can just be passive. Okay, I thought you could actually, like, do something like that. No! What are you doing? No! Guys, seriously. Just get back over there, please. Just stop it, all right? Back into the system. The void cloud is not to be feared. Now, while you guys are doing that, let's go down here to the surface. Right now, we've not got much going on here. We really need the first population to grow before we can do anything. Conveniently, the first population is growing on good farmland. That works for me, because that means we can put some better farms in play, and that actually works really, really nicely. Right, in comes first fleet again. This time, lads, attack this bastard. I'm pretty confident that you can pull it off, alright? You got a good commander there. Everything's fine. Now, while you're moving towards him, let's head back to Thuban and set ourselves a governor for this planet, because we really could use a nice governor here. Recruit someone new. We've got some spare. Yeah, we've got plenty of spare influence at the moment. Building cost down 20%. That's pretty decent. Or resilient. Yeah, let's go for, even though you're the oldest, yeah, let's go for building cost down. That's a really good thing to have on what's going to be a fairly big colony when it's actually ready to go here. Hostile fleet is engaged. Okay, hang on. Let's see what's going on here. Those guys are spreading out. We've begun the bombardment. And we just need to figure out who you... Oh, you're firing on 2 people at once. You utter git. Luckily, the destroyer is heading up front, which is fine, because that means I don't think he'll even get through the shields. He's being utterly destroyed, and I don't think he's even going to get through the shields. Oh, he got through the shield a little bit. That's fine. He did a tiny bit of damage to 1 ship. That's okay. Let's go for Adaptive Bureaucracy, Empire Leader Capacity +2. I'm not sure what that means exactly. In fact, I literally just went and looked it up on the internet, and I'm still not 100% sure what that means. But having the edict cost down 15% sounds good, because some of the edicts are very, very powerful. I assume that means when I try and recruit, there will be a greater number of leaders available to select. I'll keep an eye on that. If that's true, the next time I select someone, there'll be a selection of 5 rather than 3. I've also been thinking about, and just like stepping away from my computer for a few minutes is always a good idea. I always come up with my best ideas when I'm doing that. I had a thought, and obviously, the thing about Stellaris is Stellaris almost never puts hard caps on anything. Like, just because it says 35 out of 37, I can make it higher than that. It just means, like, maintenance becomes more and more inefficient. I'm guessing the game can allow me to have more than 5 directly controlled planets, just with inefficiency penalties. What I have just noticed, however, which I really quite like, is the new leader after Scrooge McDuck died, Wings of Gold, albeit he is 73, so he might not be around for too much longer. He is warlike, which I really quite like a lot. And he's also expansionist. So actually, while he's in control, we can actually go on the warpath a little bit cheaper. This I quite like. Also, apparently he has the agenda of a scientific leap. So research speed is up another bloody 10%. Marvellous. Meanwhile, the guys who I'm thinking of going to war with have just sent us a random insult for no well-explained reason. They just don't like us. Gits. Well, that's fine, because I am eyeing their stuff very, very interestingly. If I just kind of hover over here. Like, I can't help but notice that actually, over here, there's a decent bunch of stuff floating around here. I wouldn't mind having some of this. And I believe there's a good world. Yeah. Okay, here we are. So this world over here, 18. A bit blocked off, but not too badly. And most of it's kelp. We can deal with kelp. We've already got the research for that. Take over this world. And then, potentially, this is our wider empire right here. Not too bad in the slightest, I'd say. I mean, we've got, like, a little bit of an expansion out here, but to be honest, I'm not sure if I should even come out this way. I mean, this is a good world. It's just a big world, and big worlds are worth having, to be honest. Now, what have we got going on here? An embassy. Ah! Good, good. The Kithri have decided to come and investigate what's going on in our world. And what's going on here. You guys want... Yep, research that. And star charts for star charts, totally. Oh, no, Wings of Gold died. It flipping immediately. Oh, darn it. Poor old thing. Apparently, ducks don't live much longer. In fact, ducks live less time than human. 73 in the future feels like that's quite a short lifespan. Never mind, maybe he was assassinated for being way too warlike. And we're going to have a new director. Fine. Keep an eye on what he does, by the way, because the director makes a big impact on the entire empire. This is interesting. I can just dump 200 influence into pretty much who I want. That's interesting. Or I could, yeah, I could abstain. I assume if I just do anything that counts as abstaining, in which case whoever's the most popular will be elected. Another alien mural. Perfect. Now, I can't actually see what their agenda's going to be by the looks of it, but I can see their traits. Warlike, champion of the people, happiness, industrialist, that's quite a good one. This could be a very good use of some resources, but I'm never going to be able to get enough. Yeah, I'm never going to be able to get enough influence and time, unfortunately. So, you know what? There's actually not so much bad here. Whatever happens here, this feels like it's okay. And indeed, it just happened by itself, and it was Wings of Yellow. And he is champion of the people, happiness plus 10% across the board. Good. And minerals plus 10%. Oh, bloody hell. We are swimming in minerals right now. The people of New Duckburg are apparently crying to be put to work because they just don't have anything to do with their time. That's fine. New Duckburg can continue being a ridiculously powerful energy thing. Meanwhile, let's check down here down in the far bill, because this area is, aha, this area is actually grown quite a lot here. Good. Okay, there's some good stuff we can do here. One, we can upgrade. Yep, fine, 50 influence, and I think we can afford that, thank you. So get on upgrading that. Meanwhile, we can have ourselves... Ooh, you've already got a good thing going on there. These guys, you can start having some really strong mines, quite frankly. Meanwhile, Karkana, the name of our little kind of territory over here, shall in fact be called Graceful Wing. Because, like, I quite like this. Like, you know, we've got a wing over here. We've got a bill down here. The farthest bill, which is really digging down into this area. We've got the wing over here. And then we've got these dicks who I really don't like. Actually, how are we getting on with the Kithris, by the way? That's worth keeping an eye on here. So the Kithri really quite like us. This is all working very nice. They're enlightened pacifists. And with the new ships added in and the fleets merged, the military power of this fleet has now risen. 1,677. Beautiful. And some new birds have just shown up right at this exact moment. Interesting. So who are you? Always looking for trading partners. Yep, fine. Who are you? So this is the Israelvana worlds. Alright, fine. Removing... Oh, Arctic world again. could have the Arctic world. You know what? Fine. I don't think we need like Arctic world at the moment. Instead, wildlife. I think we've got that on a couple of planets we've got. Let's get that out of the way, as that's quick and easy to do. We definitely don't have dense jungle because we're not going into the tropical worlds yet. But with our empire expanding quite nicely, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to call it a part here. Next time, well, I've got eyes on some new territory down in this area, and then I think it is indeed time for us to go and take care of the centralized Ganlarev, the stupid skull weasel people. Anyway, these guys, they're a despotic dictatorship. Basically, I'm going in on a mission of liberation. I'm liberating their people from them because they're clearly dicks. So the people will throw open their gates to us with open arms and everything will be lovely. And I have a plan for dealing with them. So that is next time, ladies and gentlemen. But in the meantime, I've been John. This has been Many a True Nerd. And this has been the really rather excellent Stellaris. Thank you very much and goodbye. Here, have a hat. Oh, you don't have a head. I'm sorry. That was really insensitive of me. Oh, I don't want to interface with whatever this is, but all right. Oh, God, he's running Windows 8. No bloody wonder it's all gone tits up. Fire extinguisher, if it's a choice between you and me, I'm afraid I'm sacrificing you, just FYI.